This is by far one of the most ambitious mods I've seen for Thrones of Britannia. What you're seeing here right now is a playable map of Caesar's invasion of Britannia. And that's not all. These are basically the first screenshots showcasing just how impeccable this design is. Bear in mind, there is a beta of Caesar's invasion on the Steam workshop already, and that mod is completely battle focused, creating a focus on a multiplayer community. If you have ever wanted to relive Caesar's invasion, then that's the mod to go and download right now. But really, what makes me excited is that we have this modding tool that is Kane, that was made by the Dauntless Days team, which has been made available. That means campaign map modding is now possible for Thrones of Britannia, and it's possible in that case where the north of France can be added to Thrones of Britannia in a Roman setting with working settlements. I sincerely hope to God that these cities are Roman-style Rome 2 cities, not vanilla throne ones. The north of France is also being looked at so that players can start their campaign finishing off the Gallic tribes before they venture into Britannia. Here's another thing on the campaign side. Your generals age alongside their equipment on the campaign map. This is to reflect, I believe, a very crucial element that I feel has always been missing in Total War for quite some time. Generals aging on the campaign map adds so much longevity that I'm surprised Rome 2 needed a mod just to get this in. But here's the thing, whether it's Roman generals or Gallic generals, they age, are older and acquire better equipment. So this role-playing aspect is really awesome. Another thing you may have missed is that the campaign map is now playable with no crashes as confirmed by the developers themselves. Soon they'll be sending campaign previews to the Total War YouTubers. So I anticipate Andy's Take, Terminator could probably be the first, alongside many others. But work is still being done on the campaign. You can see that there is a completion of the Roman provinces. You can see that there is more working settlements being added to the north of France. You can also see that there are modded maps that have also been added. This mod update that I'm also showing you also has the full legions, and it also has new UI. It just reminds me of the classic Rome 1 mods. I just think it's really, really great what we have here right now. And if we look at it one way, this campaign works as a survival type gameplay. You are basically in charge of Caesar's campaigns in Britannia. You have limited armies, low replenishment, difficult supply lines. You'll start in Dover with a single settlement. That's where Caesar landed his legions. But you have to consider limited manpower. You will not be able to have quick replenishment of troops that fast, and your supply line will be basically within Gaul itself. You can move, let's say, a legion down south, but if you lose it, that's not good. If the replenishment is too low, you move legion back down south to speed it up. And during this campaign, you really only have access to 4 armies to replicate the 4 legions that really participated in Caesar's invasion. This, alongside the difficult supply line of recruitment from your landing point in Dover, that forces the player to think more about their options when choosing engagements, thinking about subjugation, alliances with local tribes, so they can be used for manpower in your conquest. This conquest will be hard. Britain was not conquered in one day. It wasn't done by Caesar either, but in 43 to 44 BC, you can basically change all of that. And now England, Wales, Scotland are now fully complete with their respective boundaries. Now there's, let's say, a fully working map with all factions added, new UI update courtesy of the summary, added Roman generals to the campaign map, and there'll be Roman standards and eagles, and now all listed factions are now playable, and they're broken down into the respective culture groups. I believe there's borders and trade routes that have been removed. to show what happened when Rome visited Britain, and it would have been difficult to see where those tribal borders are. So, a fog of war will also be created so you can venture into certain parts of the map as well. And as I've said, there's Asian generals for the Romans and the Gaulic migrants. Another last aspect that there is that you got the north of France, so you can complete Caesar's conquest of Gaul within the north of France before obviously you venture. Players are thrust into the role of the supreme commander, tasked with overcoming formidable obstacles to establish Roman dominance within Britain. There will be unpredictable nature, manpower, supply lines, demanding environment that requires strategic acumen and tactical brilliance. Players must manage their forces, making judicious decisions about when to engage in battle, when to seek alliances in local tribes. You'll also have the inclusion of technology tree that unlocks cavalry. It will mirror historical events, add depth to the campaign. You'll have boundless opportunities to expand the military capabilities and adapt to the evolving challenges posed by the British tribes. It's a marvel of historical accuracy. There's a careful delineation of tribal territories, and the absence of artificial borders also create that sense of authenticity. Key feature that really sets this mod apart is the aging and progression system. As I've said, the iconic leaders involved, reflecting the wear and tear of battles and the acquisition of experience. This mod really promises to be a definitive experience for fans of Total War and Roman history alike, and I say again that this mod is insane for Thrones of Britannia. A game that was considered abandoned a long time ago is now getting one of the best overhaul mods of all time. So, this is a campaign map preview. If I get more, I will live stream it at some point, but you guys are seriously going to love this mod. There's so much great content coming out. Stay tuned for more content, and don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for further content.